to safety in the church. Stay and see what happens. Curiosity. Okay, degenerate, do you trust me? Yes. His shadowy mask turns my way, lips set to a neutral line. Warning. This is an 18+ visual novel that contains strong language, descriptions of gore, and suggestive content. Please check our warnings page for more details. You're welcome. We get a little PV before we play? Don't. Okay. Sorry. This game kind of reminds me of TOUCHSTARVED. They're very pretty looking. That was actually really nice, very cute. All right, welcome everybody. I'm Degenerate, and today we're going to be playing OBSCURA Chapter 1, The Descent. Now this is another one of the requested games. We're trying to get those on the channel for everyone to see. Let's read the warnings first and foremost so that everyone is, you know. We got unhealthy dynamics, religious themes, drugs and alcohol, human trafficking, violence, and of course sexual themes. Then there's for the routes. It does say if you click, it's spoilers, but I think the general ones were enough, or I don't even know. Sexual themes, that's a whole umbrella of things, so we're not gonna do the character ones specifically. We're just gonna jump in and then be surprised. So let's start. What's your safe word?
Wow.
What's happening here? We're already starting? That text is so slow. Type in your safe word, pumpkin. Sorry. That text speed was extremely slow. We're gonna change that. Oh, they have different fonts, but I like the one that we have now. It makes us fully immerse into the universe that we're jumping into. So let's start. My safe word is gonna be sugar bomb. Sugar bimb? Sugar bomb. If you ever need or want to pause gameplay, you can press the safe word button in the top right corner. This pauses the game and takes you to the safe word menu. Oh, that's cool. Welcome to the... Oh my gosh! Welcome to the aftercare screen. Guys, there's an aftercare screen. I've never seen this ever in my life. I might explore that later. But yes, this game is free. You guys could check that out if you want it to. No one goes into the mountain without reason. Oh, we're starting. This is it. We've begun. I'm sorry, that took really long. Gate guard. Oh. Purpose of business. Buying. No one takes their past into the mountain. How are you going to pay? Some funds, some work. Good luck with that. Everyone knows what it means when you go. No one says anything about it. Give me your bags. Why? The guard looks through my things with perfect efficiency. Bored. They start asking me questions. What are you going to be called down there? Mix. Vesper's a nice name though. Vesper. Rah. Degenerate. That cracks me up every time when people are like, oh, such a nice name, and it's just degenerate, like, or something stupid. You have a mask, mix, degenerate. I like that. Mix. No one would sell me one. Not a problem here. If you're buying, we're selling. I don't know how much money I got, bruh. The gate guard waves to the masks hanging around this entrance, perhaps once worn by other visitors. The masks were an old custom, plausible deniability. We're all faceless strangers under the mountain. Pick your poison. The charcoal colored one with worn lace and gold trim. Cream colored one with flowery details painted across the left side. Burgundy colored one. I didn't know that's how burgundy was spelled. With swirling embossed patterns. I'm gonna do that one. The cream colored one. Cream. I'm sorry. I take a mask off the wall and fit it to my face. It weighs on my head, but my mind feels lighter. I see my reflection with the mirror. Ooh. I look so swaggy, bro. The people under the mountain have beautiful taste. Welcome to the marketplace. Thank you. They step aside, allowing me passage into the tunnel in the side of the mountain. I begin my descent. Ah, descent, you know, the title. At first, I have to wonder if I have been tricked in some way. The passage grows narrow, the air stale, and the path uneven. I'm walking by the last feeble threads of light that reach its deep. But then I see something, a shimmering pale blue glow from around a corner. I fight through the narrowing walls until I am able to turn the corner. The passage suddenly widens, then it opens. I step from the passage into a cavern, so massive I can hardly see the end of it. The marketplace. There are several masked people who were seated or leaning against the walls around this little entryway, and now they are approaching me. Welcome, newcomer! A fresh face. Someone new could use a guide, couldn't they? Hucksters, or perhaps petty thieves looking for an easy mark. I'm so sorry, my throat is killing me. Because, and it's such a stupid reason, I freaking screamed earlier, like really loud. Oh my gosh. And like water's not helping, and the only reason why I screamed, I was on Twitter and I saw Gatobob posted something and I was like, ooh, update on the Etsy? Sure. They're making a fucking box keychain and I screamed so loud. It's not my throat hurts, so yeah, I'm gonna be hacking this whole time, so get ready for that. My valuables are kept under my heavy robe, safe from pickpockets. I steel myself a march forward, past the strangers. There's no logic to this place. A fishmonger selling dried and salted fish sits next to a bookseller with stacks of forbidden tomes. A fungusman and bird keeper are bickering. If they weren't obvious scams, I could have taken one of the offers for a guide and saved myself some time. I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna pop up and be like, what's up? And it's gonna be one of the main characters, I think. Or the main love interests. It's gonna be great. We're gonna get a guide. It's fine. At first, I glance at each stall in turn. Out here, nearest the entry tunnel. Nearest the entry tunnel, all of the stalls are selling simple amenities or cheap thrills. The sorts of things a departing traveler might want to have when they ascend. Not what I'm looking for. What are we looking for? It's not here. Well, I suppose it wouldn't be. I look so cool, bro. Like, come on. Asking one of the sellers, I get directions. The rough walls of this cavern shifting and trembling in unsteady candle and glowworm light. Slowly turn smooth where natural walls turn to human carved. Oh my god. I'm sorry. The ramshackled stalls turn to ramshackled buildings. The painted and varnished walls. The quality of goods on sale is improving as well. The cheap basics are behind me. Ahead are the rare, the luxurious, and the illicit. Ooh. The real reason anyone comes here. Seeing the sign for a Apothecary? An easily unrecognizable serpent coiling around a staff. I slip inside. Welcome. I feel that. Thank you. The shopkeeper is masked, of course. That is not what grabs my attention. The din of hundreds of voices selling and buying and negotiating in the echoing caves is muffled, but not by much. That is because while the apothecary has 4 walls, there is no roof over the store. Newcomer, huh? What? You must be a fresh arrival. And why would you say that? You're staring where the ceiling should be. You got me. I suppose in a city with no sun or rain, roofs are unnecessary. That's so cool. But no rain? That sucks. I love the rain. Only thing a roof keeps out in the marketplace is thieves. Okay. A common weather pattern here? Far too common. Oh, funny. We're making jokes. I like it. I make an effort to examine the apothecary's mask. I hope I'm saying that right. It's plain. Plainer even than mine. Perhaps he is frugal. Mine is not plain. Mine is cool. Or perhaps he is poor by the standards of the marketplace. Well, you weren't driven in here by the weather. What do you need? I'm looking for Lunar in car? I'm gonna say the CH is making the K sound, so. I resist the urge to explain my circumstances to the shopkeeper. No matter how meaningless or petty they seem, my secrets are one of the few resources I have in these depths. You have expensive taste, or terrible luck. What I don't have is Lunar in car. In core? Ichor. Lunar Ichor. Is that something you can remedy, apothecary? No. If money is a concern, I can make arrangements. It's not the money. How we know? I can never afford to stock that damnable Ichor. Even if I could, I doubt I would be able to stomach it. What is it? The rumors are true then. That is unfortunate. Where does one go then? To find that damned Ichor. That is unfortunate. Where does one go then to find that damned Ichor? Smuggler dens, the vaults of the lords of the market, or perhaps you could take a knife to the lunar god. Failing that, the auction house may provide. It's the largest house on the side of the ruby walls. It even has a roof. Okay. The apothecary cannot see my smile, but I hope he can hear it. I did smile. I thank you for your timely advice, sir. Save your thanks for the lunar god. It'll be a miracle if you get that Ichor. I'm gonna mess that up every time. I take my leave of the shop. The noise rises again from loud to deafening. Conveniently, someone wants to honk their horn. There are tunnels and additional caverns in all directions, but I continue the way I was going. If the walls are getting smoother and the buildings are more beautiful, then I am approaching the richest part of the market. It stands to reason that that is where the auction houses will be. How much money do we have to be auctioning? Keeping my eyes up, it takes no time to find the auction house. It is as the apothecary said, the largest house this side of the ruby walls. There are long chains of glowworms draped over the promised rigid roof that dangled and sway as the air shifts in the cavern. The building itself is deep, garnet red, and gilded trim. Message received. You're very wealthy, whoever built this. Comedy. The doors, covered in tiny engravings impossible to interpret in the dim lights, are wide open. Bright golden lamplight pours out into the street. People are freely milling in and out, and so I slip inside. I'm underdressed for the occasion, but neither of the guards standing at the doors moves to stop me. The sound of the outside suddenly dims, and I have to blink against the sudden brightness. I can hear my own muffled footsteps as I cross the plush carpet deeper into the auction house. The whispered conversations through masks make a thin fog of sound compared to the din outside. The signs are in a language I do not recognize. but I can make some educated guesses. The ornate double doors, standing locked and guarded, must lead to the actual auction hall. There's a short, uncarpeted hall with gleamed, polished floors lined with several doors. After a second, I see a giggling pair exit one of the rooms and straighten their clothes. Okay. That explains that then. There's one door that is little more than a window on hinges, left open. I peer inside for a second only to see an ordinary office. Come in. Sure. The stranger sitting behind the desk waves to me, so I step inside. Pardon me, I didn't mean to intrude. Let's change the mic color, shall we? Oh, I missed it. I missed it again. I missed it again. This blue seems appropriate. You can't intrude on the bookkeeper. I must always be available. You must be? How else could anyone check to ensure I'm not meddling in the books? Does it really come to that? Well, I have no such concerns. A buyer, are you? Couldn't I simply be a browser? You really believe someone would come to the marketplace to the auction house just looking to see what they find? I suppose someone must have, in all of history. Well, if that's the scale you're measuring by. You, however, are not here to browse. How do you know that? No, I'm not. You're right. I'm here to buy. Shall I show you the catalog for the next auction? I would appreciate it. The bookkeeper stands and holds me a sizable booklet. Do not damage it. Do not leave here with it. Yes, sir, ma'am. Damn. I fucked that up. They open a drawer to their desk and hold up a knife. It's a little thing, but I have no doubt they could kill me with it. It's a knife. Then they sit again and resume their work. I flip through the book. They are objects of unimaginable value, works of art by artists even I know by name. An exquisite jeweled tiara fit for any princess. The deed of a country manor. On the surface. Oh, a whole house. Then there are the wonders I could have never dreamt of. The bird wreathed in flame that never burns. The still beating bloodstone heart of some rock nymph. A potion of clear vision. I flip the page and I am met with the miserable exposed face of a young adult. Their posture is low and defeated, but they are beautiful. Oh wow. Damn. The text informs me that whatever is paid in the auction would be sent to their family within the mountain. Surely not. I flip the page again. There are no other people in the catalog, but one is enough to turn my stomach. Thank you, bookkeeper. Finished already? What I want isn't in there. And what is it that you want? I'll check the history, see if it was last sold. I bite my tongue for a moment. Lunar Ichor. An unlucky one, aren't we? I couldn't say if I would, bookkeeper. What does this thing do? They shuffle through a notebook. I try to read the text, but it's nearly impossible to interpret their faint pencil scratchings. More bad luck to heap on your pile, I'm afraid. The last sale was 3 months back. It's unlikely we'll get another sale for months yet. Unless someone new comes with the stock. It couldn't be easy, could it? No. If what you're looking for no one has, like, come on. And what was the final price for it? For a lot of 12? The number they tell me is stomach dropping. I could not gather those funds in a lifetime. Even divided 12 ways, the price for a single vial is well beyond my means. Why do we want this? What does it do? I need to know. My life savings weigh heavily in the coin purse under my robe. Dead weight, it seems. By your silence, I guess you don't have the money. Okay. Thank you for your time. I try to keep my voice neutral. When I leave the auction house, I momentarily lose my sight and hearing as I adjust again to the dim echoing cavern. I don't notice the direction my feet are taking me. My hopes for a quick visit to the marketplace have been thoroughly dashed. Now I have to determine what to do. I think I better get some rest. Can't afford to get... Go to sleep. We've already had 2 people tell us that we're unlucky for looking for whatever this is, so go to sleep. At the moment, I don't trust myself to make a sensible choice. Staying on guard here in the marketplace is exhausting. My feet ache from climbing a mountain. Oh, it was an actual mountain. I thought it was like the name of a place. I need some kind of rest before I have the energy to determine what to do next. I stop by a stall and ask directions for a decent inn, rest stop, public house, anything. Following the directions through a short tunnel, I wander through a quieter district of the marketplace. Though quiet is relative, the guest house is a challenge to find, though I hesitate to call the ground down walking past roads. There are rest houses lining them on either side. The Leaping Bear, the guest house recommended to me, is nothing remarkable. The building has a roof, but the building itself is mostly made of raw wood. The brass doorknob is smooth under my hand, polished by the thousands of guests who come and go. Hey. Inside, the atmosphere is boisterous, but on the scale of a handful of people singing and drinking song. The chaos outside is already muffled and distant. Hello, love. Welcome. I don't know why I said that. She'd look like she'd sound like that, though. The woman who approaches has her face fully covered in a bear mask, but her neckline is untied and exposed. I wonder who she works for. The person who owns the place? Hello, I was told this is a good establishment to stay the night. You were told right. I'm gonna go with it. Except the part about night. I might not do it. Here there's no real I can't do it. Here there's no real difference between night and day. Plenty of folks are up all hours of day as you do, just sleeping when they're tired and forgetting the sun ever existed. I see. The bear-masked woman has me sign into a guest book and pay for the night. You have the room for 24 hours. If you're staying longer, I expect you here to pay for more time. If you don't, you might find all your things at a moon shrine. I'll remember that. Oh, I'll remember, thank you. And you'll be needing these. He hands me a dull metal medallion and a leather string with a key. Dear Rufus over there. A big guy, isn't he? She gestures to a mountain of a man, also in a bear mask, standing by a door. Make sure only guests go to the rooms. That medallion proves you're a guest. Don't lose it. Or else I'll find my things at a moon shrine. Pick things up quickly, you do. I do. Would you like to meet me at my room, sir? Check if the bed is working? Seems like an important skill to have here. Quite right. She gets back to her business, so I approach the mountain of a man guarding the door to the rooms. He doesn't even have a face or nothing, and I'm flirting with him. Hello, Rufus. Rufus. It's a nice name. I hold up the medallion and wait. I'm not about to rush a man with a bat, especially one as bloodstained as his is. A violent one, aren't you? Then he nods, and I'm granted passage. He's not gonna talk or anything? What do you say? He watches me go to my assigned room. I suppose a good measure to prevent theft. But then, so is a bloodstained bat. And a big guy at a door. Sleep doesn't come easily at first. How can I risk sleeping in the marketplace? But it does come for me. In the morning, or my body decides is morning, my resolve is hardened. Leaving the marketplace without lunar ichor would render everything I've done pointless. I wouldn't be able to live with myself if I stopped trying. I'm able to order something like breakfast from the Leaping Bear's kitchen, and then sit deep in thought, staring at a bowl of porridge. Eating in this mask is a bit of a bother. I have to navigate the spoon around my mask. Around the mask. There's clasps, you know. I start at a sudden appearance. Well, I did get this mask at the entrance, and I'm not exactly, you know, I don't just live here like you guys do. What? Feel along the side of the mask. There should be pins or clasps holding the bottom part. I do as she said and find the little clasp holding the two parts of the mask together. Well, I feel like a proper fool. It already feels strange having my mouth exposed, like a funny kind of nudity. Newcomers are all a bit foolish. That's part of their charm. I'm charming. Thank you, I think? Just keep your wits about you, you'll live. You make it sound so dire. Well, you're here, aren't you? You're not wrong. No one comes here without good reason, I should think. What's yours? A personal matter? Buying or selling? That's all there is down here, after all. Buying. Something I might not be able to afford, it turns out. That won't narrow things down too much for her. She don't even know all my business. Well, it depends how you try to buy things, doesn't it? Money will get you anywhere if you have enough of it. But there's other roads out there. Yeah, I read the warnings. Is that something you know a lot about? I couldn't say. I only know what stories the guests bring in. She says it flippantly enough that there must be a story there. But I resist the urge to dig. Then I suppose my next job is to find what paths I can use. Thank you. I'm gonna use my charm. Oh, not a problem. The masks trouble everyone at first. You ask for Bruna if you have any more problems. Oh, for Bruna? Oh, is that a person? I'll be happy to help. Oh, that's her name! She sweeps away to handle another matter, and I'm left with far more productive thoughts. Money won't get me lunar ichor, but something else might. Influence, friendship, violence. Gual? Gual? My body, if it comes down to it, anything. I mean, if it's to the right person. Sure. Maybe Rufus? I'm gonna stop now. No more Rufus talk. There's a lot to think about. Am I going to stay in a guest house for weeks or months? What possible ways are there to get lunar ichor? Let's start with one foot in front of the other. Over the next several days, I get to learn the layout of the marketplace. It's an ever-shifting rat's nest of stalls and passages and unmanaged pathways, but there are some fixed landmarks. I can navigate somewhat comfortably by those landmarks when they are visible. On evening, based on my own internal clock, proprietress of the Leaping Bear hints over a meal that as long as I am well behaved, she would be willing to extend more generous long-term rates to me. I wasn't planning to misbehave, even less so with Rufus. Keeping an eye on me, really. And so that settles the matter of lodging for the moment. As for the lunar ichor, I am at a loss. It is rare, absurdly rare, and based on the reactions of those I speak to about it, some aspects of it is very taboo. Likely the condition it treats. Uh-oh? We have a condition? I'm wandering one of the quieter passages, clearly natural by how even the ground is. It's mostly homes built on whatever smooth patch of stone the builder could find. But there is one that towers over the rest, a tall church with heavy oaken doors. Where normally I would expect to see a golden 10-point solar sigil, instead there's a more simplistic crescent-shaped one, the lunar sigil. Oh, is this the lunar church you was talking about? Ah, I suppose the solar god isn't much help down here. Lunar god, yes. Someone said that earlier. I have seen the eerie blue-green light of glowworms and the smoky gold of lanterns, but I have not seen the sun since I started my descent. The churches dedicated to the lunar god exist outside the mountain, but not in any significant numbers. The lunar god, lunar ichor, it can't hurt to ask, could it? No. I'm not sure I believe the lunar god must bleed for there to be lunar ichor, but there's no harm in checking. Hey, stop! Someone got something stolen. I halt in my path instinctively, although after a moment I can see no one was speaking to me. Obviously, we didn't do anything. Instead, there is a ruckus? There was a roused crowd gathering just down the tunnel, shouting and tussling. A few people in utilitarian masks and what looks like uniforms are trying to push their way through. Looks like trouble. Run to safety in the church, stay and see what happens. Curiosity. Stay and see what happens. Idle curiosity keeps me where I am, watching the ruckus of the crowd intensify. Very suddenly, one of the members of the crowd breaks away and sprints directly towards me. I start moving backwards, trying to step aside. I misjudge my step and stumble. I fling a hand out in an attempt to find my balance. I didn't save in the beginning. Damn it! The sprinter slows down very slightly as they get closer to me, slow enough to catch my hand and jerk me forward. I try to put my hand away, but it's impossible. The runner pulls me along and I have to use all my focus to keep up. Stop, thief! Thief? It looks like they're stealing me! I cannot help my astonished outburst. Looks like we've met one of the contenders. What, like you're surprised? We pelt down a tunnel. I mean, I did ask to be a part of this. I did stay to see what happens. We pelt down a tunnel. Many of the people step aside for us, hardly surprised by a pair sprinting away from a collection of uniformed officials. I wouldn't want to be involved either, but we are. The runner takes a sharp turn, nearly wrenching my arm from its socket. I yelp as I follow along. Then we take a turn into some sort of business establishment. The runner does not slow down for a second as the shopkeeper opens their back door for us and closes it once we're through. This was planned. The back alley where we're in is uncomfortable, cramped, and we have to shuffle through. Hold on. I mean, what else am I supposed to do? All at once the thief turns, grasps my shoulder, and pushes me backward until I'm pinned against the wall. What the? Oh, being shushed? Sure. Sorry. We're both panting. Oh, really? The thief leans in as I'm nearly pressed body to body with them. Stay quiet for 20 seconds. I'll do it for 30. For a smooch. Helpless, I have to follow the thief's lead. I do everything in my power to breathe silently and try to tuck myself behind the stranger. After a count of 30... Did he say 30 or 20? The thief gives me space. Who are you exactly? You grabbed me without knowing me? Cool. Degenerate. Okay, degenerate, do you trust me? Yes. The word is out before I can think about it. Yes. The thief's mask turns toward me in a single abrupt motion. What? What other choice do I have? Not trusting a stranger. I'm fairly confident, that's a masculine voice, sounds utterly gobsmacked. Not in a good way. There's a good way to be gobsmacked? And what happens if I run off? You get arrested? Totally. Then trusting you is the right thing to do. By the lunar god's scars, it's not. The lunar god has scars? Can I see them? He definitely exasperated with me now. But I'm not about to stop nettling this idiot. Are you suggesting I should go get myself arrested for what sounds to be your crime? No, you should definitely listen to what I'm saying. You shouldn't just trust me. I wonder what I would have said. What would have happened if I said no? Very well, you're a criminal and a scoundrel. I don't trust you. Lead the way to our escape now. This is fun. I'm having fun. His sigh is long, suffering, as though he was the one just abducted and led on a chase, right? The gall. Keep quiet until I tell you it's alright to speak again. Anything for you. Oh, damn it. Not yet. What's your name, thief? You got mine. I'm a thief. I'm supposed to take things. You're funny. Do you want me to call you thief while we're walking around? Would you like that kind of attention? You're not always going to be this mouthy, right? Not if you do something about it. Depends how much you deserve it. Call me Kier. Kier. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm gonna just say it how I am seeing it. Pleased to meet you, Kier. Really? Not yet. And now you're going to shut up. I will. Fine. I didn't say you could. I've grown comfortable with the anonymity of my mask, but it's a great shame I can't show Kier what exactly I think of his sass. To be fair, he's probably thinking the same thing. We sneak through the back alleys, shuffling between buildings that seem to be leaning into each other. I have no idea where we are at this point. I've lost sight of all my usual landmarks, and there's every chance I'm in a cavern I've never explored before. Kier, at least, looks to be completely comfortable navigating this space. We stop at a dead end, or at least it looks to be a dead end for a moment. Kier shoves aside a collection of heavy planks, and a short, narrow passage is revealed. Watch your step. Totally. We have to crouch and nearly crawl through the passage, but it is mercifully short. Ooh. It leads to a small open space behind several rough-built houses. At least I think they're houses. A lanky teen staring us down from behind a scrappy, stiffened fabric mask. Hey. We're sunstone polishers, don't mind us. Okay. What was that, a code phrase? Still no talking. I roll my eyes behind the privacy of my mask. Then I take real stock of my surroundings. Gosh. I'm in a strange place with a man I cannot trust. And I only know about one exit. The one behind me. Get out of here? Stay. I had a goal, and I deterred from my goal. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm going to escape. I need to do it now. I glance at Kier. He's walking away, pushing past the teenager. Neither of them are looking at me. I step backwards carefully and quietly. They don't notice. Go! Then I turn around and duck into the passage. It's undignified, scuttling on my hands and knees, but I make quick pace. He said wait. Comedian. Hey, wait. Nope. Oh, what if he had what I needed? Damn it! It's fine. The short tunnel is blocked off again as expected, but a firm shove against it opens up a narrow gap. I squeeze through. Then I'm on my feet and I start to run. I can hear Kier behind me. I follow the sound of people out of the alleyways and onto the main road. My heart pounds as I try my best to melt into the ground. I am just one of the faceless many exploring what appears to be a row of massage parlors and gambling houses. Slowly I start back the way I came, into more familiar territory. And eventually the church comes into view. And now we go to the church. I slip through the imposing massive oak doors. The carvings in the wood press into my palms, a surprisingly comforting, grounding sensation. Then once the doors close, the change in atmosphere hits me. First the smell, candle smoke, heavy incense, and cold, crumbling stone. Then comes the solemn silence, the kind that reminds me of your place within these holy walls, and the oppressively tall ceiling. I'm finally alone. Even for just a little while. It's a welcome relief from the chase and sneaking around. It feels like I can truly relax here. I take a moment to release the breath I was holding and take in my surroundings. This is where the inhabitants of the underground come to worship the lunar god. It's also a reminder that I still haven't found any adequate leads for the core. When I take a couple of steps down the carpeted path between the aisles, I suddenly make out a figure behind the altar. They're wearing long robes. A priest, maybe? Maybe. Excuse me. I call out, taking care not to raise my voice too loud. The person shuffles around and I see they're masked too. Well, of course they would be. Yeah, I think everyone's masked. It'd be crazy if I saw someone not masked. Even those in service of the lunar god can't afford to take risks here. Let me not jump to conclusions. We can do this. As they approach, I notice the distinct glimmer of a golden brooch nestled between the folds of their clothes. Proof of their holy devotion. I'm gonna press the H key. Okay. Their entire appearance is refined and almost ethereal, right? Long silvery locks of hair cascading down their shoulders. Delicate fabrics wrapped over their shoulders and long, perfectly gloved fingers. A rich silken voice. It takes me off guard. Do my ears deceive me? Or has another fight broken out? What are you talking about, long fingers? The priest stops a few meters from me? Is that supposed to say meters? Silly. And from here, I notice that their mask doesn't cover their mouth, which is set into a thin, disapproving line. You're right, it's quite a scene outside. I pause. I was hoping I could lay low here for a while. I'm not one for brawls. My star, the church will always be a place of safety for those who need it. Please stay as long as you like. I will. No one tells me what to do. He's so refined and polite, unlike a certain someone who tossed me around and shut me up without remorse. Oh. I was taught that all lunar priests call believers their stars, but it still makes me smile. Good thing it covers my whole face. That mask. Well, thank you, Father. A twitch of their lips. I'm gonna say Cyrus. You need not call me by those stuffy titles. The man's name, I had a feeling. It's likely not his real name, as is the case with most people in the marketplace. But even a fake name can speak volumes about someone's personality. Cyrus. Cyrus! Would you like to That sprite took me by surprise. Would you like to light a candle while you're here? Huh? Sure, why not? Who cares? I follow him towards the back of the church, past the initial altar, and stop in front of the statue. It towers over us, surrounding by row after row of marine blue candles, and the sight takes my breath away. A sea of light. I don't believe I've seen you around these parts before. Is he making small talk? I would think so. I light a match and watch the flame flicker softly as I bring it to the wick. But I can only answer vague pleasantries to make sure I don't divulge important information. No, I'm not exactly a traveler on most days. I think I might see the appeal now, though. Is that so? Despite not being able to see his eyes through his mask, I feel them on me. Cyrus makes no effort to follow up on his last comment, and the two of us fall into silence. You're a bit of an unusual priest, aren't you? His lips twitch again, forming into a polite smile. Would you care to elaborate? Stop it. I'll consider it. We're standing closer now. Shoulders only slightly apart as we watch the new flame sway in unison with the rest. There's such a strange comfort to it all. I could linger here for hours, soaking up the atmosphere. What's it like being a priest, I mean? This side view is crazy, bro. Look at you. Posture's insane. I love bitches with good posture. Fuck. Like, I can't. It's so amazing. I love it. It's the best. Very tall and just beautiful. Alright, focus. Demanding answers of me while not offering up your own. Behind my mask, I suppress a smile at his light prodding. You got me there. While I understand your caution, this is by no means a safe environment. Ah? But if it's any comfort, my star, I am bound to the lunar scriptures. It's my job to ensure the visitors here feel safe and cared for. The words roll off his tongue with practiced ease. I like the way he calls me a star. I don't trust him in the slightest. I mean, since I am a piece of trash, I'm gonna say the first thing. I know that's what you call everyone, but being called a star does make one feel a little special. My answer makes him pause for a bit. You are special. Everyone is in their own way. We could have done without the second sentence. If everyone is special, then that kind of defeats the purpose of the sentiment, doesn't it? I'm mouthing off for the sake of for the sake of it at this point, funneling the day's frustrations into banter. But Cyrus doesn't mind. I feel his eyes on me again, with increased intensity. Would you rather I say you're a bit more special than everyone else? His voice is laced with unexpected warmth, teasing me like an old friend would. This time, I can't stop myself from chuckling. I'm not opposed to it, but I think I ought to be heading back soon. Errands won't run themselves. Good luck with that, my star. What can I call you next time we meet? Next time? Degenerate. Cyrus repeats it, testing the pronunciation. Then a smile spreads across his lips. It suits you. Of course it does. Thanks, picked it myself. Quite the mouthy one, aren't you? This is the second time someone told me I talk too much. It's part of my endless charm. That it is. You little flirt. I will be back. We bid each other a polite farewell, and before I know it, I'm alone in the streets again. Not the streets! I can't help but feel a twinge of paranoia at the thought of a thief finding me, but I can't let that stop my search. I trudged through the market stalls, sweeping over any new available contestant, as I have every single day since coming down here. Murky colored crystals, vials filled with shimmering liquids, rare animal leathers, but nothing even remotely resembled the ichor, I knew I was gonna mess it up, catches my eye. The serenity that filled me at the church is instantly squashed. Instead, all I feel is dread. Wasn't I supposed to ask about it? I've already been over this. Could Cyrus know anything? It's worth asking, and it's the perfect excuse to head back to the church tomorrow. Until then, I keep walking. Besides, that's all I can do to keep myself busy. At night, I toss and turn. Not even the inn's freshly cleaned sheets do anything to soothe my restlessness. Before I know it, it's the next day, and I've barely gotten a wink of sleep. Bruna stops by for the usual breakfast chatter, but my mind is elsewhere. All I want is answers. Eventually, I'm back at the doors of the lunar church. Oh, look at that. Something about them beckons me. A deep magnetism that draws me straight through the entrance without a second thought. There's different incense wafting around today. It tickles my nose with notes of mahogany and velvet. Hello, side profile. You are the best. I expect to see Cyrus in the same spot as yesterday. We'll find him further in this time, with an unmasked woman kneeling before him. Unmasked? It takes me a moment to understand what's happening. The priest doesn't say a word. His stature is imposing and almost regal, practically towering over the other person. Completely different from yesterday. I can't really make out what he's saying, but she doesn't move, and eventually his hands find his way to the top of her head. Perhaps he's blessing her? I would like to be blessed next. I wonder why the atmosphere is so heavy in here. I decide to hang back. It's not my place to interrupt whatever ritual may be going on. Nah, bro, let me join. My eyes rove over the decor instead, specifically the paintings and the detailed scenes they depict. Massive oils on canvas, cracking with age at the edges. The larger ones show the two gods at opposing ends, dancing around the earth in harmony. Their arms reach out for one another as their endless rotations continue on until the collapse of the universe itself, unable to ever reunite. It's a little sad. Degenerate? That is me. I didn't notice him approach. Cyrus's tone is warm and comforting, and the smile right under his mask peeks out as usual. It's as though the ceremony from earlier never even happened. Hey, I'm back. Didn't want to disturb you back there. Back there? Oh. He tilts his head, lips stretching into a mysterious smile. Did I make you curious by any chance? Yes, actually. I feel like the character's not gonna admit it though. About the ceremony? Yes. I get to choose. Yes. You both seemed so serious. Don't think I've ever seen anything like it. There's a Stop! There's a pleased rumble coming from his chest. She was readying herself for something important in her life and needed some reassurance. So she turned to the lunar god itself and demanded she be fully cleansed. Why? Simply so that she may begin the chapter with a clear conscience. More than that, I cannot say. Privacy and such. That's fine. Thanks for explaining. Either way, I'm sure you didn't come here to just spy on me and the paintings. His comment makes me smile. Maybe I did. If I could see his eyebrows, the tone of his voice suggests they'd be raised by now. Right now. I guess you're right though. I'm in need of advice. A pause. My star, nothing pleases me more than knowing you feel comfortable enough to come here for help. Cyrus comes closer, and for the first time, I take notice of his height compared to mine. He's got to be at least a full head taller. Just one head? What can I do for you? I hesitate, unsure if he really should be trusted or not. I'm looking for something. Lunar ichor, to be specific. Something in his demeanor shifts when he hears this. You're sure? Quite sure. It's quite the task. What do you need such a precious resource for? Nosy old... Oh, I see. Bractum anima? I thought that illness had very well vanished from this world. What is that? His words startled me as I instantly stare up at his face, hoping to catch a glimpse of his eyes through the holeless mask. How? The only better way to ascertain... Beautiful. If he's telling the truth. If he actually knows what he's talking about. But I see nothing, of course. Only the intricate embossing and the mental surface. He knows the name of my illness. Wasn't expecting that. Ah! How do you... I've encountered it before, though it remains exceedingly rare. As is the curse. Oh, the cure, of course. I assume you've asked around and seen for yourself. The weight of the situation returns to me as my chest feels like it's been crushed. I know. I feel him placing his hand on my hand. I give it a gentle pat, a compassionate gesture. Then, that same hand trails down the cup of my cheek over the masked surface. Then, focus. The sudden intimacy of the gesture makes me jolt. My star. What if I told you there might be another way? What? Do I have to pray really hard? Under the privacy of my mask, my eyes go wide. Impossible. I wouldn't be so sure. The lunar god is a benevolent, wondrous being. Goosebumps erupt all over my skin. My heart leaps into my throat. It's too good to be true. It has to be. There's no way he could have the answers right here. I can't stop staring at him, waiting for him to elaborate. Cyrus's other hand captures my other cheek, so my head is cradled in his embrace as his voice drops an octave. No. You're shivering. Time around us seems to come to a standstill. I don't have the cure here, not yet. But I want to help you. I see how brightly you shine. And how much you want to overcome this. I could never turn a blind eye to that kind of hunger for life. Will you let me help you, degenerate? What's the point of this? There's a regular yes, a bold yes, and then a I can't accept, and then a bold yes. What? Is he like trying to mind control me? Trying to get in my head? Why don't you go somewhere else? There's lots of other places you could be. That's not my head. It's lower. I want to see what this one does. Of course, Cyrus. How can I thank you enough? That better not have done nothing bad. I need nothing. I am simply performing my duty. And knowing that it may save someone makes it all the more rewarding. I'm in disbelief. There has to be a catch here somewhere. I need to know the details. But he's been so kind to me, I have a hard time doubting the validity of his claims. Cyrus readjusts his gloves with a practiced movement. I'll need a bit of time. Getting a hold of this substance is no easy feat. The disappointment in his tone is obvious, and I believe him. Even for someone with more influence, there's bound to be obstacles in the way. This seems too easy though. Like he just has what I need because I asked him nicely. Come on now. How will you get a hold of it then? Have you heard of the lunar god's healing powers, my star? Pfft, you about to tell me though. He turns to face the giant statue surrounded by candles and motions for me to follow. I have? And how much do you know about it? As we both come to a halt, heads tilt up to get a full view of the statue and its surroundings. Long ago, it was said that priests were able to receive a sample of the blood that flows in the higher beings' veins to save their people. That is a core that we know of today, pure, concentrated life force infused with their powers. In this case, healing powers. But there is no reliable way to get a hold of it these days. I hold my breath. That being said, this blood had once been taken and thoroughly analyzed by a man who then went into hiding. Rumor goes that he left all his notes behind after passing away. A gasp leaves my lips. You're saying we could find these notes and replicate the composition of real lunar ichor? Precisely. Precisely. My mind goes into overdrive. How could this be the first time I've heard of it? Because he's probably lying to us. That's a shame. Where did you know all this from? Cyrus smiles wide. This man went by the name of Nexus, and he's a fellow priest from this very church. This has to be too good to be true. It's just not possible. How? Please rein in your expectations, degenerate. As he uses my name, the timbre of his voice turns serious once more. I did not know him well. Few people did. He was a reserved person, with not much to his name. Finding his residence, or wherever he may have hidden his secrets, is bound to be a difficult task. And I'll need all the help I can get. And even once we find these notes, there is no guarantee he'll be able to replicate it with the information we have, nor that someone will do it. The knot returns in my throat, but I have more to cling on to than when I first arrived. Better to try than do nothing at all. Indeed. Something grabs hold of me, determination, unlike any I've ever felt before. Hope soothing my heart. Even if it's just for a bit, I can't quite let my guard down fully. But this is the first step. I have to be proud of myself. If I hadn't run from that thief, I would have never gotten this chance. Right? Eventually we fall into silence as we stare back up at the statue. Just checking, but It's not as easy as just saying pretty please and then having the OBSCURA appear before us. He chuckles. Oh, whoops. Unlikely. But if you'd like to offer a prayer, that will also be encouraged. I contemplate the idea. I'd like to. Let's. It can't hurt. But I'm not sure how to. I don't know any lunar prayers. Allow me to guide you, my star. I nod. His shadowy mask turns my way, lips set to a neutral line. What a great choice this was. On your knees. I mean, why not? The usual warmth of his voice is completely stripped from his command, and I very quickly realized that this must be the mindset he was in earlier. Oh, what a great mindset! When he helped cleanse the other woman. For now, I obey. Shoulders straight, hands together. Oh. The words are efficient and utterly no nonsense. It's easy to tell he's done this a million times. I'm wearing a mask anyway. Chin up, I'm sorry, let me read it first. Chin up, degenerates. Do not hide your face from the lunar god. Expose your emotions. I feel vulnerable, protected, annoyed, pleasure. Come on, you know I'm gonna pick it. This is strange, but my body flushes at his shift in tone. Being commanded like this makes something inside me unfurl. Every subsequent breath I take fills me with warmth, and every next order makes my skin tingle. What is the next order? My mind is so acutely receptive to every word he says. You're almost there. I mean, if you say so. Simply repeat after me, my star. Damn, this is like nothing I've ever, like, yeah. I don't know if he puts his hands together as well. I don't dare look back. But he begins a short prayer, speaking solemnly and clearly. I repeat the words after him, again and again. We fall into a trance, and with that, I hope that my pleas reach the moon. You did excellently, my star. He bends down to my level where I gaze up at him, mind still fogged up by the experience. I'm sorry. Sometimes I gotta regain myself. I'm very weak to praise. It's like the one thing that will make me lose myself. Alright, I got this. I am so proud of you. No doubt they're honored to have received such a heartfelt prayer. I'm still in a haze. Words don't really want to come out. All I do is listen and subconsciously lean towards Cyrus. When I try to open my mouth to say something, his gloved thumb slips under my mask to push it up ever so slightly, just enough to reveal the lower part of my face under the nose. Allow me. To do what? I would never have allowed anybody to do this to me under any other circumstances. But in this moment, I trust him enough to see this small part of me. And as his fingers sweep over my lower lip, I can barely suppress a whimper. Easy. I'm not an animal. His smile stretches into a pleased grin. You're going to be alright. I hope so. When the doors to the church start creaking, his hands wrap around mine to help me up. And as a couple of visitors begin filtering in, the spell is broken and I snap out of it. My star? Yes, I'm okay now. I'm good. I shake my head and concentrate on staying upright. My inner clock tells me it's time to head back. Thank you for today. I'll come back tomorrow so we can start searching. By all means, do. I'll do my I'll do my utmost to find any leads. I'll let you know if there's anything to work with. We share a quiet smile. Get home safe, degenerate. I leave the church and step outside, right back into the darkness. That was amazing. I must say. On my way back to the Leaping Bear, I stop at a food stall for some hearty potato soup. And allow myself to take a bit of time to relax. I don't think I'll ever truly get used to not seeing the sun, but I'm starting to warm up to the underground as a whole. Halfway through another sip, I think back to what happened at the church. My cheeks flush red under the mask. I feel guilty for thinking about Cyrus in a sinful way? What? That's what makes it beautiful and amazing. I don't want it to happen again. I loved it. I loved it. I can't help it. I want it to happen again. I still feel the pressure on my lips. Obeying him felt easy, natural almost. And the haze that came with it felt as potent as one of the apothecary's pain-killing vials. I don't even think I care that he's a priest. Me neither. Either way, I have to come to terms with what happened. I need to calm down. After loading around for just a bit longer, I pay for my soup and begin my long detour back. Passing through the marketplace so many times means that I've started becoming a familiar face, and in turn, I recognize some of the owners. Still looking? Unfortunately, yes. I'll keep my eyes peeled for you. The owner of the bookstall nods in my direction, and I know without a doubt he will. Oh, I thought that was a girl. Like many others setting up shop here, he can be a treasure trove of rumors and information. Say, could I ask you something? Depends. What is it? Depends what it is. Have you heard of the priest going by the name of Nexus? The shopkeeper falls silent in thought and drums his fingers on the surface of the wooden display table. Can't say I have. Why? Heard he passed. I keep my intentions vague, and if he notices, he doesn't press it. Not exactly an uncommon occurrence around these parts. Thanks anyway. Today's search is unsuccessful yet again, but I don't let it bother me. After all, I have Cyrus's lead. I do. Just as I'm about to turn back towards the inn, I narrowly dodge, bumping square into someone's chest. Hello? Fancy-looking stranger. Oh. I bow my head in apology, but the stranger fumbles back, distraught. Oh no, oh dear. I hope I didn't startle you. All good here. Are you okay? Please don't worry about me. I should be apologizing instead. Didn't you just do that? I'm not sure how to feel about the sudden outburst. When I take in their appearance, I instantly know it's one of the noble sons from the surface. His skin sports a rich sun-kissed glow that almost makes me envious. The high quality of the suit's fabric and the elaborate pieces of jewelry don't lie. They're selected with obvious care and attention to the outfit as a whole. Even the mask is perfectly coordinated with the rest of his suit. That's not necessary, I'm fine. Look. I hold up my hands and show no harm was done. Oh, I sure am glad. I hope we'll meet again, if you don't mind me saying. You are a very kind person. The person takes my hand and brings their lips to it, an old-fashioned custom at this point. I'm surprised to see anybody still doing such a thing. Thank the person. There really is no need for this, but thank you. My pleasure. Bro. At first glance, he's an easily frightened sort. I'm not sure how much of that is genuine. Please take care. Allow me to make this up to you someday. Do you do that with everyone, bro? What was that? The person quickly excused themselves, and I'm left baffled. The underground truly is a strange place. It's a testament to how many different people congregate down here. But you never really know who you're talking to after all. Right. I shake the thoughts from my head and finally find my way back to my room. My bed becomes welcomes me after a strange day out. It's funny how familiar this room has become too. Even seeing Rufus's face and the bloodied weapon every day has become something of a comfort. I'm sure that eventually the church will feel the same. The same church is empty the next day I stepped inside. Well, I honestly don't know how long this is, and I really don't want to stop here and then I go back to record the next episode and it's like 20 minutes. That's gonna piss me off. But yes, we are going to stop right here for now. We've already covered like 2 days, as this thing has told me. So far, I'm very much like not in love. I'm not in love with Cyrus, but I do enjoy this whole schedule we've got here. So if you guys enjoyed this part here and would like to see another one, leave this video a very beautiful like and subscribe for more. And with that being said, I will see you guys next time.